Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and this video is all about the fact that we are hiring. We are looking for more content producers. Now, this is for both people who want to work from home, so you don't have to be in the area if you want to work from your home and just send us the stuff, so you'd have to have all the equipment yourself. Or if you work locally, then you could actually work full-time in the office as well. This is both a part-time and a full-time position that is open. Now, if you want to apply, watch this entire video and then apply. Part of the application process is me seeing how well you will follow instructions throughout this video as well. Because if you don't pay attention to detail, or if you just like to skip through things and just rush it, then obviously it's not really going to work out very well. So it's in your best interest to listen to all the details, even if I'm very verbose and talk for a while. So the position that we're opening up is content producer. Now that's a very general term, because we're looking for people who can do terrain tutorials and or painting tutorials and or battle reports. Now if you're able to do battle reports, like if you like the style of battle reports that we do, or like where I do mine, or Dan does his, or Dave does his, or if you have your own ideas, that one will most likely need you to be local, because we want you to be able to work in the office, play against us, use our terrain and scenery and everything else like that. Having said that, if you think you have a great setup and a really good camera and all of that, and you're really good at making battle reports, I'm not going to tell you not to apply for the job. You don't have to be good at doing all painting tutorials, terrain tutorials, and battle reports. Either you're really good at battle reports, or you can be good at painting tutorials, or you can be good at terrain tutorials. We really need more of all three, so I can't tell you which one we would want more of. There's more than one position open right now. In fact, if you're watching this video even months after I've posted it, and you think that you can apply and that you'd have what it takes for the job, feel free to go through the application process, because most likely we will always be looking for more content producers, and we'll always be expanding as our YouTube channel grows, as the MiniWarGaming Vault grows, and everything else. If you're not familiar with our company, if you've been passed this video by somebody else, I do suggest that you become familiar with who we are and what we do. You can go to MiniWarGaming.com and start watching our videos. It will definitely help in your application process as well. So, what are the requirements for this job? If you are working here, if you live in the Welland or St. Catharines or Port Colborne or in the Niagara region, and you're able to actually come into the office, then we will provide all the equipment. We'll provide the computer, the camera, the sound equipment, the software, everything. You don't have to invest anything into this job. You just have to show up. And then what we require for the job at that point is a good personality that's really good on camera. You don't have to have any video editing skills. In fact, it's not a requirement at all. If you do have some video editing skills, it'll be a bonus, but really I'm not too concerned about that. You do have to have basic computer skills, so you need to be very comfortable, very, very comfortable with using different kinds of software. So make sure you mention that when you do submit your application. So like I said, don't require you to know Movie Maker or Vegas or Mac stuff, whatever they have, iMovie or whatever else you might be good at. None of that is required. Of course, if you do have a lot of background in special effects and Adobe After Effects and all that kind of stuff, then there's always possibilities there as well. If you are working remotely, if you live not anywhere near us, and anywhere in the world, by the way, it doesn't have to be in Canada, then the requirements would be that you have to have a good computer that has software on it that's not pirated, that you are able to use to edit movies, and this has to be better than Windows Movie Maker, the basic programs that come with your computer. I would recommend Sony Vegas for PC. For Mac, I'm not sure what I'd recommend, because I never used a Mac. Also, you need to have a good quality camera. It doesn't have to be expensive. The HD cameras that we use are the ones that cost typically $400 to $500 at Future Shop or Best Buy. So they're not like the cheapest camera. They're more the mid-range. In fact, the cameras that we buy, I look for basically the cheapest camera that has a microphone input. And that's what we buy, because as you're hearing the mics right now, we're using a lapel mic, which is not a requirement, by the way, but we'll talk about that in a second. And this links into the camera and is much better quality than the camera mic. Now, you need the camera, and if you're working from home. And you also need good sound equipment. Now, good sound equipment is not very hard to come by. Even just going out and buying a $50 to $100 headset mic is fine. Even if it doesn't plug into the camera, that's okay, because a lot of what you'll be doing is recording a tutorial and then you'll be voiceovering it afterwards once you've edited it in your editing software. If you are working remotely, you do need to have some experience with video editing because we're not going to be around to teach you how to do it. We might be able to give you some tutorials over the phone or by email, but you will be required to know how to do your own video production. So basically, if you work in our offices, we provide you with everything, training, equipment. If you want to work from home, you provide your own equipment and your training, but you still get to work for MiniWarGaming, producing videos and everything else. There's a lot of benefits that come with being an employee as well. There is the employee discount in our store, and we'll be providing you with all the the products necessary for your videos. For example, if you're doing painting tutorials, then we would provide you with the miniatures for it, so you don't have to buy them. If you're doing terrain tutorials, we'd provide you with a budget to go out and buy local terrain materials, so you basically won't cost you anything besides your initial equipment, which if you already have it and you've already been practicing and doing videos, won't cost you anything at all. But I would say the most important requirement for this position is a good camera personality, especially for the one that works local. And also somebody who is able to articulate and do good voiceovers on a microphone. So you want to be somebody who doesn't do a lot of uhs and pauses and kind of just drones on and on like I do a lot of times. Hey, I can be however I want. I own the company, right? So no requirements for me. So let me think, are there any other requirements? Okay, so how to apply. Oh, and if you're wondering how much the compensation is and how many hours there are, we have part-time and full-time. I would say minimum 15 hours a week is what we'd want you to be able to commit. And then if you wanted to apply for full-time, that's a possibility as well. So when I say full-time, I mean 40 hours per week. This is either remotely or working from home. We have a certain expectation for how many videos you produce in a certain amount of time, but you'll learn more about that. It also depends on the types of videos that you're making. Certain types of videos are faster than others, and we understand that. And so we've had enough experience with this now to know what to expect and know what we can expect from somebody else. So we can work well that way. So how to apply. What you're going to want to do is you're going to be emailing me, but at a special email address. It's hiring@miniwargaming.com. Hiring as in I'm hiring, HIRING, at miniwargaming.com. I'm not going to put this email in the video description because I only want you to hear the email if you're watching this video. I don't want to pitch people spamming me. Now, I am anticipating, as I'm putting this video out, that I will receive a lot of emails. If you have questions about the job, you can email them to me, but I can't guarantee a response because, well, I might get tons and tons of emails. Also, if you do put in an application, you will definitely get contacted if we want to pursue it, but you won't necessarily get contacted if you do not get the job. Just because, like once I said again, we'll probably get a lot of applications. We tend to get lots of applications whenever we open up new job positions. So to apply, you're going to send an email to hiring@miniwargaming.com. This is what you're going to do. The subject line should be related to this job posting. You can make it whatever you want, but make sure it doesn't say no subject. Nothing says, I'm not sure how to do anything, then a no subject. And then in the email itself, I want you to write a bit of a cover letter. And this cover letter should be specifically targeting why you think you should have the job and why you would want this job and your qualifications for it. You can then attach a resume, and I recommend in PDF format because that way you know for sure that I will be able to open and read it. So send an email to hiring@miniwargaming.com with a good subject line, and the email itself is your cover letter talking about why you're good for the position, and you can also talk about things like how much you'd like to be paid and how many hours you'd like to work. All the details you can give me would be good. But remember, you're trying to sell yourself, so I'm not going to give you too many tips on the job application process. You can get that from lots of different places. And then you attach a resume. Oh, I just thought of a couple other requirements. I told you I'm just going to kind of ramble on. You do have to be at least 18 years old, just because it's easier for us to work with that way. Especially if you're going to be remote, you definitely need to be 18 years of age or older. And if you are local, you need to have your own transportation. The dress code, I think you guys can figure out because you see us in our videos, so it's pretty casual here. any other details. If you have questions, the best way to ask them will be to put them in the comments in this video. And then what I will do is I will update the video description, at least for the first little while, maybe the first week or two, with the frequently asked questions and the answers to those. After the videos, if this video has been up for more than, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks, then most likely I'm not going to be reading the comments anymore. And so feel free to send me an email at hiring@miniwargaming.com. I would prefer if you put it in the comments at first, though. That way other people can see the responses, and that way I don't get the same question over and over again. Well, I will, but not quite as much. I think that's everything. All right. So, thankfully, the server crash didn't stop us from continuing our business, and we are looking to get even more content produced, so we have even more free content and even more content for our Vault members as well. This is Matthew from MiniWarGaming. Happy wargaming.